the charge on the overdraft facility for 2023-2024 is set to amount to Kenya shilling 12.6 billion. This will be over 104% increase from financial year 2022-2023. Why are we having a large charge on the overdraft facility? What is the purpose of an overdraft facility if there is an allocation of 200 billion for the redemption of Treasury bills? Also, can you account for the use of Kenya shilling 200 billion allocated for the redemption of Treasury bills in the financial year 2023-2024 and financial year 2024-2025 under the program-based budget?
I was trying to work out the figures that we have here. If you look at page 8, if you add, we have 2.56 trillion. This is the CFS. I will draw your attention to the budget that is submitted to Parliament now. The total revenue is 3.354 trillion. So if we take 2.56 as percent of 3.3, we get 61%. It means for every 100 shillings of revenue, 6 shillings is going to be used to deal with the. Yeah. Now, when we focus, when we leave even none, we leave out A in A and focus on tax revenue.
The issue of the time lag between when you sign for the debt, for a loan, and when you implement. We have had a number of sessions with the MDAs who are actually implementing programs which are funded through law. And during our interaction, one of the things which is coming out is that Treasury, you go ahead and sign loans before assessing their capacity to implement. And that's why at times there's that delay in terms of implementation. I would want to hear whether there are any plans to involve some of these departments as you sign for these loans.
What we see so far is that there are many reasons for the slow uptake. Sometimes we have issues on way leave. It has to do with MDA, where they engage in a project without having sought the way leave. So we get a loan, implement, and along the way they realize the contractor cannot access the site. So we are now saying we should not proceed without that. We put it as a condition so that we avoid those kind of issues. Then sometimes we have non-fulfillment of the conditions precedent by the implementing agency, because in every loan there are conditions precedent. We also make sure that we check on them, that every entity is ready when it comes to those conditions that have been put. Otherwise, sometimes we are pushed as Treasury, we go ahead, get the money, and then they cannot absorb because they have failed to meet certain conditions.
From the financial year 2020 to 2001 to the financial year 2004-2005, the CFS expenditures are expected to double, adding to a total of Kenya shillings 1 trillion. This significant growth highlights the escalating financial obligations and reducing fiscal space. We need an explanation to this and how you're going to get out of this mess.
We have outlined three main strategies which are under implementation. One is that we pronounce ourselves to the need to undertake active liability management operation, which means replacing expensive and risky debt with relatively cheaper debt, both in terms of the currency mix and also interest cost. And going forward, Chair, we have some initiatives that we have in mind, which includes accessing the international financial market with the cover of guarantees to enable us access relatively cheaper market-related facilities.
Can we not bite the bullet and say we can't get that? Our deficit remains what it was, rather than just going to go the easy route and borrow, and then you're adding more into our public debt. So why don't you look at the option of making cuts rather than just going to the market to borrow more?
We undertake true fiscal consolidation, that we aim to match the revenues with the expenditures. And that for the expenditures, we only have quality expenditures. We try to manage any areas of waste